Sustainable development progress is often communicated through targets, thresholds, and aggregate trends. During my ISS internship, I investigated what those approaches can mean when countries follow different development trajectories and when progress across energy, infrastructure, innovation, and digital connectivity occurs simultaneously. This is ISAC, the Integrated SDG Analytical Corpus. It studies 5 official indicators across SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, and SDG 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. The first case is 4G coverage. The illustrative threshold is 95%, Myanmar 94.5%, the Bahamas 95%. Opposite sides of the threshold, half a percent point apart. Countries much farther below the threshold receive the same not achieved label as Myanmar. The classification is useful for monitoring. It does not preserve magnitude, distance from the threshold, or the distribution of the data. What happens if instead of asking only whether a country crosses a threshold, we examine how it changes over time? Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, and Argentina, their paths are not the same. A single global trend captures relatively little of the variation because countries are not following one common trajectory. Bayesian hierarchical models allow each country to follow its own trajectory while still learning from the broader international pattern. If countries follow different trajectories, do recurring development patterns emerge across multiple indicators? Yes, ISAC identified 2 development archetypes across the 5 indicators. One combines infrastructure constraints with a higher renewable energy share. The other combines broader technological capacity with more efficient energy use. Different mixes, not a single leader. These groups were produced from all 5 indicators together, not from a single score. The map shows how those patterns are distributed. Cameroon belongs to archetype 1, infrastructure-constrained renewable transition. Bulgaria belongs to archetype 2, technology-enabled efficient development. I am using them only to make the 2 patterns concrete. These archetypes are not rankings. They are not sequential stages of development. They represent different combinations of strength and constraints across the 5 indicators. Clustering tells us how countries group together. It does not tell us how the indicators themselves relate. Electricity access has the greatest overall network strength, meaning it has the strongest combined relationship with the other indicators. 4G coverage has the highest spec influence, reflecting predominantly positive relationship across the network. These are conditional associations, not casual claims. SDG 7 and SDG 9 are not independent analytical domains. Energy access, efficiency, renewable energy, innovation investment, and digital infrastructure form an interconnect development system. I will ask a question from the research itself. Why were these 5 indicators selected? While that answer is being constructed, here is what the system is doing. Ask ISAC is an evidence-ground interface built over the research corpus. It first retrieves relevant evidence, it constructs an evidence package, only then is language model generation used to communicate the results. The citations sits with the answer. If the model generation is unavailable, or if a generate response does not pass validation, Ask ISAC can construct a deterministic answer directly from the retrieved evidence rather than returning unsupported generative content. The principle is simple: evidence first, generation second. The central lesson from ISAC is not that conventional SDGs thresholds should be abandoned, but that they capture only one dimension of progress. Countries follow different trajectories, they combine strengths and constraints differently, and they participate in an interconnected system spanning energy, infrastructure, innovation, and connectivity. ISAC provides a framework for studying this heterogeneity while preserving uncertainty and the relationship between indicators. The platform leaves a reproducible foundation that future ISS researchers can extend to additional indicators, SDGs, and research questions. The foundation is finished, the question remains open.